What a day today. It's the 24th of August, August 24th, 2021. This is the 125th episode of Risk On. And I think episode like number 4 or 5 that Jason has not showed up for. What's the excuse? A little COVID?
Well,
you don't come to work?
We got some
Just
things.
kidding, Jason. Just kidding, buddy.
10 to 12%.
Although we know he's alive because he's giving me some stock advice. He's perking up a little bit. What's he say today?
I had a meeting with them today.
Wow, meme stocks popping up. HUSA, HUSA up. Some big buys there. Iconics got a bump. AEZS, pure technical move. Any news? It's a home run, he thinks. But the big news of the day, what time is a Rippin' Dippin' coming on? You're on camera, dude. I'm on. I know. Where's your mic? Come on, man. Get your money right.
Get your money right.
He's coming on later.
Okay, well, the stock of the day for me, because I bought so much of it, is Naked Brands.
I know what it is.
I can't help myself, right? And today I saw it at 60, just around 65, just a bit outside at 65, and the volume was
Today.
pretty high today. Let's look that up. Naked Brands.
All right.
Closed at 62. It says 63.40 in the aftermarket.
127 million shares today.
120. Well, you're rounding up. 127 million. 126 million 97937.
9.
Hey, a lot of you in the audience are, I consider, friends or colleagues, people that maybe like me a little bit. I would love some feedback from you if you have ever intermittent fasted, because I've been on an intermittent fast, 16 hours on fasting and 8 hours off, and my blood sugar went through the moon.
Literally to the moon. Like naked today.
Like, wow. And as soon as I ate during the fast, my blood sugar went down. So I wonder if any of you out there who have type 2 diabetes like I do have any experience with intermittent fasting. That experiment has not appeared to have worked.
Not for you.
No.
No, that's a no-go.
So I'm going to do something about that.
You were on a tear there for a bit, right?
I was, and I think maybe that part isn't working for me. It maybe works for other people, but it didn't work for me. So my son has convinced me, along with my wife, who'd like me to live. I think the main issue is my son doesn't want me to die, and then my wife marries somebody else, and then they get half the money. Is that right, Chase?
It's not a major concern.
It's not a major concern.
No, I mean I trust Christy.
You got to trust her.
Of course I do.
She would
Just
not
a joke.
like this topic. She'd be like,
I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm not gonna remarry, blah blah blah, which we know is a lie. She's a pretty tall blonde,
She's
6
not gonna
foot tall
remarry.
blonde. Come on, dude. Are you kidding me?
But also, this is such crap anyway. He's not going anywhere.
She's much better looking than me. She will have suitors lined up out the door. What a day today. I had a ripping day. Speaking of ripping dipping, he's going to be on the show later today. That's
He's on.
exciting.
We got Jordan on.
On now?
Oh, we got him on right now?
Yep.
Let's
We gotta
pull him
pin
up,
him.
because I wanted
Can
to
we hear
get
him?
right to Naked Brands. Wow. That is a huge move in our portfolio today, because we own a lot of this mother. Wow, that is a big move.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
mean,
jumping on last minute, Jordan.
Do I call him
problem.
Jordan or
Can you hear me
Rippin?
okay?
Do I call him
Rippin'
Rippin or Jordan? Jordan, you want me to call you Rippin or Jordan? What do you want me to call you?
You can call me whatever you want to call me, man. Just don't call me broke.
Call me
Okay, all
broke.
right.
Get your money right.
get your money right.
Exactly.
There it is.
What's the story with Naked Brands today? Why did I wake up to it being at 64? What do you know? What can you report?
I mean, it's just excitement. I mean, you know, we have a preliminary agreement right now. It's 62.50. Let me just double check this. I don't want to cut
Yeah, I
you
got
off. We're up
62.50.
another 1.31% in after hours. The thing is, let me just get back. I lost you here. All right, I'm back in. It's just excitement. We have a preliminary agreement with an industry leader. I mean, I'm not gonna now. I might get some shit for this, okay? But NAKD is a stock right now that's a penny stock. Okay, we're trading in the 60-cent range. So if you take that analogy and you say, okay, we're a struggling car company and we've just had a preliminary agreement with an industry leader, okay? Does anyone give a shit what industry leader that is? No.
Hey Jordan,
We know it's
hey Jordan, let me tell you something that's bothered me a long time, and it
Yeah.
came up with me the other day. I really hate the description, but technically, we
Yep.
consider NAKD Brands a penny stock because it's below $1. But that's actually
right.
not true. That's not the definition of a penny stock.
Right.
One of the tests of the penny stock rule is that it's below $5.
$5,
But
right.
but the problem is if you've been in business for a certain period of time and have a certain amount of assets and you've traded on a national exchange, you're not considered a penny stock. One of the things I cannot stand, not something you did, by the way, Jordan, that that the mass majority of people do, is they call something a penny stock because it trades for 62.5 pennies. But that's actually not how the rule is written. The media over time has come to transcend that bullshit to the world and publish it, and it's inaccurate. In fact, there are many stocks that are on the OTC
Yep.
that are penny stock exempt because they meet the rules of trading and value and assets. So I remind everyone that during the 2008-9 crisis, Bank of America traded for $1.
Wow.
Right. And you could buy it for $1 on a national exchange.
So Bank of America, penny
Was
stock.
a penny stock. Anyways, Jordan, continue with your thought process about why you think, since they're going to buy an industry leader, that something's up here and therefore it must be promising.
I mean, well, I recently put out a video discussing what I was just mentioning is like, I'm done speculating, you know? There's a lot of people out there, they've been throwing around different names of companies they think they could possibly be. But I mean, realistically, when you're talking about, he specifically said there were smaller opportunities that were easier to execute. And they believe, JDR and management believes in the value of their company. Okay. And he said that affords them the right to be selective in choosing, you know, which company they are trying to have this preliminary agreement with. And I just feel it's so exciting for us as retail and investors, because we believe we found, you know, one of the many gems that are out there at such a low cost. You know, I mean, and I know there's some people that bought in higher. I was one of them at one time. I was able to average down a lot, but the upside potential is so huge. Now, another thing is, according to Ortex, which I know is only 85% of the data, today there was utilization of 100% and there was a borrowed shares of 0. Okay, now granted, I know that's only legal exchange in 85% of the data. It later changed at the very end of the trading day to 32,000 shares, okay, that were borrowed with 100% utilization. And if you notice the cost to borrow, it was like 2% APR, which is insane. Now, why would the cost to borrow be so low? I used the analogy in my live stream. If no one's buying houses or no one's taking loans, what do? You lower the interest rate. So that to me indicates that this is logically a stupid thing to short. And they just happen to have a certain amount of shares left over. They couldn't get no one to borrow them, and they rather make 2% APR than nothing at all. So they gave out 32,000 shares. That's just, like I said, 85% of the known reported data, not to mention everything else we believe is going on behind the scenes with the synthetics and the, you know, the naked shorts and things of that nature. But I don't know. I mean, they got to get out of these positions, I would imagine, especially with this pending official PR that could be coming a day from now, a month from now, or 2-3 months from now, you know?
Well, my suspicion is, and I don't know this for sure, but my suspicion is that it's going to be a consumer products company, somewhere in electronics or something that they'll benefit from a really large retail exposure, maybe a clothing manufacturer, some sort of high-end brand, maybe a consumer finance company which has a large B2C application. But I suspect, given the fact that I talked about before, that it's somewhat of a SPAC replacement because you don't.
That's
I mean, one of the things, by the way, the company could do immediately. It's an interesting thing. They could immediately lend to the target and say, "Hey, we're going to lend you $100 million on a note." And when it merges, it consolidates, right? So they don't have to go get shareholder approval to make a loan to that company to start investing in that business that's going to merge with them right away. And their only approval is going to need to be the NASDAQ approving a reverse merger and, of course, the shareholders approving the target company. A little different than a SPAC, which has a little bit...
different regulations.
Yeah, different regulations. I just got a response to something, and I wondered if it was about. I apologize. I wondered if it was about Naked Brands, but it's not. So Jordan, you're still long?
Absolutely, I'm still long.
It's kind of Captain Obvious stuff, right?
Diamond hands.
Yeah,
Diamond hands.
diamond hands. What about the what?
I lost you on my screen here. Let me see if I get back in here. I'm in the post-attendee Zoom room. If you can still see me and hear me, then we're all good. I just can't see you.
We can see you and hear you fine.
Yeah, we got you.
Cool.
But you can't see us apparently.
No.
Huh.
So
are we able to put him on the screen? Is he able to go live on the screen? Is
He's on the screen.
So we're
all good.
Yeah, I'm
3
here.
panels
I
up
just
there.
did something on my end. I don't know. I tried to look at one of my charts while I was talking to you. So
All right,
that's
well,
all right.
we got you here.
But what do
still.
you make about waking up today to it being up so much? I guess the
Well,
volume.
waking
I
up
guess the
was
volume
very,
wasn't. I guess the volume wasn't crazy. We've seen crazier volume than this before.
Yeah. But see, I like to use the 10-day average. I don't know if I'm a newbie in that, but I feel like it's more relative to what's going on right now. So including today's volume spike, our 10-day average is 35 million, and we have 127 million right now. I feel like if you use the 3-month, it sometimes, if it's not a steadily traded stock in terms of their volume, I don't feel like it gives you an accurate scope of what's really been going on, and it can kind of skew the numbers and everything. But I didn't necessarily wake up to it. I woke up to go to work much earlier than the pre-market starts at 4 a.m. New York time. But I was just absolutely ecstatic. I actually noticed the price when It's Good to Be King sent me a video, and he was literally just going bananas. You can tell he hadn't been to bed yet or whatever, and he was listening to We Are the Champions on a video. I'm just like, oh boy, this guy's had it. And that's when I really started to look, and he's mentioning, we got a huge sell wall at 250 or at 60 with like 250,000 shares. I said, we'll smoke right through that. And he was literally like, my phone just kept bing, 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 bing. And he was going over every single price and how much it was going up. And it was exciting. For me, this is the first step on a journey to a price target that is much, much higher. Everyone keeps asking me, what's your price target? I just keep saying higher. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to reveal it per se. I have my own financial goals just like everybody else does, and I'm thankful that I'm not in a position where I need this money at all right now. So, I might let it ride until I see signs that it's dying out or hear things that I don't like. But there's definitely a benefit to, for me personally, I hope this thing takes as long as possible to reach a good price point. Over a year would be great for me for tax purposes and things like that. But I see true potential beyond that. It's hard to hold things red sometimes, but it's really hard to hold things green.
Yeah, King texted me at, I think, 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m.
The randomness of this today, if we could go to my screen real quick, is that we woke up to the meme stocks ripping. You saw
See GameStop, there it is.
45% move, $45 move in GameStop for what reason?
None.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, it's at
Meme
it
stops.
closed at 210.
You kind of wonder. A lot of these meme stocks made moves in a relatively boring market, right? It's been relatively boring the last couple of days. I mean,
yeah, I noticed that too. The market's actually started to take a dive in the end, but
and
hey, it is
then
what it is.
if you go to my chart again here, you'll see AMC.
Oh, geez.
Ripped $7.51 today, and is up even more in the aftermarket because nobody's really going to the movies, so it must be worth more money.
Well, did I hear something about... No, that was definitely just a fake meme thing on Twitter.
We can go off the screen now.
I heard something about Amazon possibly
What?
reigniting in talks with AMC. Possibly, but I could be way
But they're
off.
not going to pay 30, 40 billion for them when they lease their facilities.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
it's never
This is
happening. Wait, did you see FRD today?
well, I was disappointed, right?
Exactly.
Right.
What's up with that? I mean, it trades down on great earnings.
Well, we had great earnings at DPW.
So, I was going to say,
Went down
sounds like us.
I don't know what to make of this. When you look at let's pull up the chart on FRD real quick.
You got it?
Yeah,
I got you now.
Can you pull that FRD chart up for me? Can you go to my screen, please? Let's go to see if we can look at the 1 month. Here's the 6 month.
I mean,
You can kind of see me buying back down here, and then it rallying, and then rallying all the way up to $15 on their first initial news. This company, its sales have went up dramatically because of steel prices, dramatically because of the change in COVID, and the Democrats just passed or cleared the way for an infrastructure bill.
yep.
So
smoked in the
we
last
are the largest shareholder of Friedman Industries, and we continue to be at Ault Global through DPL. And I think it's only a matter of time. The 52-week low is 521. But look at, they only traded 123,000 shares.
Nothing.
So you could argue
What's the
that
float?
FRD, Friedman, has done a poor job of telling the world about what they're doing. I mean, putting
did
out a
you hear
press
anything?
release is not that's not PR.
No,
that's
it's
not
not.
IR. That's just we put out a lazy press release. Josh, you could put out a press release tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you should trade up or down. It means
Right.
you could. So it's somewhat laziness on their part, I think. I mean, I'm not trying to be hypercritical, but when you have blockbuster earnings where you earn $1.64 a share,
Up from 12 cents loss.
up from a 12-cent loss, and earn $11 million versus what you did last quarter, which was also a great quarter.
Jeez.
I have commentary from a buddy of mine. I don't know if he's a buddy, but someone I admire. His name's Jeff Bombchill. And Jeff wrote, FRD gets little respect on the MX, I think, much like a company you're familiar with. Digging through the 10Q, they are hedging fairly aggressively on the sales side all the way through the end of 2022. This helps to lock in strong prices for quarters that come, but will also limit the upside, of course. I like the PR that mentions they have sights on doubling sales volumes in conjuring with their expansion projects. In connection with their, it doesn't say that, but in conjunction with their expansion projects. And the market cap is low as it is. A bigger player could easily scoop them up. It's medium to long-term hold for me. Okay.
I didn't know the revenues tripled. Wow.
No, FRD is a solid play. Now, I'm not suggesting this show is for entertainment purposes. I'm not even suggesting you buy it anyways, regardless of what you think here, because the upside for me is, while it could get sponsorship, it's not sponsored. So what are you going to buy it at $13.69? It's going to go to 15 or 16. Right. It needs sponsorship. Now, if the sponsorship changes, it's worth a lot more money. But we have a big position at Ault Global DPW. We are the largest single outside shareholder. Mm-hmm. I think there may be one or two funds like those ones that index them a little bit that have maybe a little bit more than us, but I don't think so.
I actually think we might be.
No, the last time I checked, we were for sure. We're definitely the largest 13D filer in FRD. So, Jordan, what else you got going on? It's what is today? Is today Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, today's Tuesday, but I had to remind myself of that, man. Just we're down a guy at work with COVID, and my heart goes out to him and hopes he's okay. And he ended up, getting some other family members, not of mine, but So I do, and I feel bad for Jason, and I hope he's doing well. I'm not sure if it even is COVID with Jason or not, but I hit 1,000 subs today, and that's a very cool feeling, man.
Congratulations!
I just like how I'm really bonding with my community, and the channel's growing. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. It would be cool to eventually have some passive income from it, but it's been really hard at work, and it just reminds me each day that I'm a young man. I'm 36 years old, but let's put it this way. Am I going to make it doing the physical labor for the rest of my life, skilled trade labor, or do I want to? That's the question. You got to ask yourself,
what do you do for a living, Jordan?
Right now I'm working for an electrician, so I got 2 years under my belt. So if I ever wanted to take my test in New York State, I'd have to get another 5 years to be a certified electrician. Mm-hmm. I've been a contractor my whole life. I've done sales. I got a business degree. I'm like 4 classes shy of my bachelor's for management and business tech, but I kind of slowed that down for a few semesters because we're family planning and all that. But
you have to be how many years to be a certified electrician?
7, 8.
If you don't go to any like vocational schooling, or you don't do like an apprenticeship, you need 7 years in the field working under a master electrician.
Jeez.
But if you go to school, you can shorten that.
It shortens it up, yeah. And there's also something where if you have a bachelor's in any science, and I'm not sure. See, my degree will be in management of business tech. I don't know if that classifies, but that knocks off like 2 or 3 years.
I know out here electricians are wanted
all the time.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Air conditioning people out here too.
The air conditions break down every single day. You have like 3-4 units in one house. It's crazy.
Oh, you mean us?
No, I mean maybe yours, but I know
we have like 6 air conditioners.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
One goes down.
You're in
and
Vegas,
got a bunch
right?
Yeah, we're in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Arizona, Scottsdale for a long time, and HVAC was a big deal over there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, HVAC. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty crazy out here. And as soon as, I know where I live, they have an emergency number that you can call. As soon as your AC goes out, they'll come 2, 3 in the morning. Doesn't matter.
Wow.
They'll come fix it.
Is your biggest issue over there is just the coils are freezing up?
I don't really know. I imagine. I can't say I know a bunch about it.
That's what they gave us when I was in Arizona. Every time we would do like 2 times a month. The
Yeah.
guy would come out and say, you just got to shut the AC off a little bit. Your coils let the coil thaw out because you're just running it constantly,
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
How much are they binging a guy for that? A couple times a month, the guy's going to someone's house, probably getting $400. Come on.
What?
I don't know. I
you
know
on
it's
about?
expensive out here.
What are you smiling
I
about?
was smiling about your grandma getting a cat.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Whatever, man.
I don't know what's up with
Hey,
that.
Josh, what's up with you, buddy?
Oh, working on a lot of stuff.
Boy.
Getting ready to
Jordan, stay
Boy.
with us.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
working on a lot of stuff.
Anything
Me and-
exciting?
Me and the Willie.
Are you going to pick a date where we're going to have this conference, or are we just going to like push that off until the day before?
I think we're picking a date.
Got to pick a
gosh.
date
We have
soon,
the
right?
date. We're ready.
Got to pick a date soon.
Yeah.
We got to get it
Still-
going.
So is Jason?
Lining up some of the guests.
Andrea, I know you're probably watching. Jason, is Jason not able to zoom in, or is he still sick where he doesn't want to be seen on camera? Let's see if
I don't know.
one of them
Any of
responds.
these comments here?
She got Naked Brands at 63 cents in the aftermarket. We're with Jordan. He's one of the Naked Army members that's a nice guy. Some people have kicked us out because apparently my target was too low or something. I don't know.
Hey, we live in a free market, free world.
Yeah, exactly.
Free country.
Hey, they're free to kick me out. It's okay. I don't have to be a member to like the stock.
Yeah, they were strong today.
Yeah.
They're
Well, I
real
woke
strong.
up to a big move here, man. This is a... But Jason thinks it's a meme move.
Yeah.
But I'll take whatever move we can get, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amen.
Let's cover the markets real quickly here. A very strong day. Some records here. They continue to climb a wall of worry, in my opinion. I don't get it. So the S&P was up 6.7, the NASDAQ up 77, the Dow up 30.
Everything up.
Everything up.
Everything's green still.
Market movers today: Best Buy, Las Vegas Sands, Wynn, Caesars, Penn National Gaming.
Love
I
it.
guess even though we have to wear a mask here in Vegas, and it's funny. If Jason could appreciate this, I'm walking through one of the casinos the other day, actually just like a day ago, and I feel it's a strange gig when you empower someone that maybe hasn't had a lot of power. Hey, get your mask on! Hey, get your mask on! Don't forget about your mask!
He's scared.
I'm like, dude, will you fucking relax? I'm just walking through the casino. Hey, where's your mask, man? Hey, cover yourself.
But theirs isn't even over there now.
No, it doesn't matter. My point is that Jason would say, hey, you give a little bit of power to someone. Jason's in the casino with me, and I'm not going to say the casino it is. and
Oh, he
they're
told
like
me.
berating Jason. He literally, I'm not joking, I'm not making this up. His mask's like this, and he can't hear. So he pulls it down to talk to the dealer a little bit, and the pit boss is like, "Hey, get your mask on!" And I get it. It was 1 millisecond. He literally pulls it down for 1 second, to like so the dealer can hear him. Get your mask on, man.
They're pretty
kills
they're
me.
pretty strict about it.
What's up
Didn't
with
they say that most of those masks don't do anything unless it's a certain kind?
Jordan?
It's
Sorry
gonna
to plod over you. What were you saying, buddy?
I said, didn't they come out and say that unless it's a certain type of mask that it does nothing anyway?
I've given up on this
Yeah.
topic. It's like the most bizarre thing where if I'm walking through the restaurant, I got to have my mask on. But when I sit down, it's okay for me to eat and do whatever. Then when I get back up, put it on. I guess that's because I'm passing someone and I might. The whole thing doesn't make sense. So think of it this way. We all walk through the restaurant and we sit down.
Yeah.
Now we all take our masks off.
Yeah.
And I was at Lazy Dog the other day, and they were packed. You couldn't even move, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't move. There were so many people in Lazy Dog, but they all had their masks off.
Well, it makes no sense because the only issues that I have with it is the fact that we can't stick to one set of rules. We can't just follow through.
And the rules are
on
different
this-
if you cross
Yes.
to Arizona versus
it's all different.
California. Now, the interesting thing is Californians have been the freaks, I thought. But I had to go to California on Sunday, and they didn't even care. They're like, "Oh, whatever. Hey, what's up?" You know, in a restaurant, didn't matter, didn't bother anybody. No one cared. I walked into an OG's. OG's.
Oh, OG's.
The one at
the pizza
Yeah.
joint ish.
I went to the OG's over on
Where? In Huntington?
No, I didn't go that far. I was in Victorville. The one, the OG's that's off the Linwood exit on the way to
Oh,
Barstow was
yeah.
actually good.
I mean, OG's isn't bad.
And there was no one in mask there. They didn't care. They didn't
Well, you're
matter.
out in Victorville. That's like,
What is that? Is that red country or something? What is
it's
that?
not
mean?
not red country. It's the middle of California. It's the middle of nowhere. They don't care.
How much money we could have saved if we realized that all you had to do was sit down and you wouldn't be infected by COVID, you know?
Exactly.
Hey, COVID.
Hey, listen.
It's gone as soon as you walk inside and sit down at the
So
table.
we, as a company in this office, the board is adopting a new COVID policy. Mm-hmm. And
I'd like to hear this.
What?
I said, I'd like to hear this.
And apparently, I don't know the whole thing yet, but apparently, you either have to get a vaccine that's mandated vaccine, or you're going to have to get a COVID test
Twice a week.
once a week on Sunday before you come to work on Monday. And there's exceptions, like in the case of Skyla, she already had COVID. So
Yeah.
then the idea is, well, when can she ever get a vaccine, and would she figure out how to get a test, etc. Josh, you had COVID, right?
I did. I think twice.
You think you had COVID twice?
Yeah.
Did you get tested?
The first time I got tested.
and you were positive.
Yep.
And the second time, what you knew because you didn't have any taste, you couldn't taste your wife's cooking, or what?
Well, I mean, I don't know because
Was that on purpose, or was she a good cook?
No, she's good. She's a really good cook.
There you go.
I don't know how that plays in though, because I know people that got COVID have gotten it again, but like their sense of smell and taste hadn't come back in the first place. So I mean, I don't know how you.
You had a bunch of friends that had COVID vaccines, and then still all got COVID.
Yeah, very mildly.
Oh.
But they ended up getting COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
myself had COVID too.
that's the whole point though. Is it seems like
who had COVID?
I think Jordan did.
I did. Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, you had COVID. When did you have it?
I want to say 4 months ago, and I think I fall along the lines of the general public where, I'm not like extreme right anti-vax or anything, but I'm just, I have underlying health issues and things like that that I got diagnosed with, and I got COVID. It was no joke. I didn't like it, but I was able to both me and my soon-to-be fiance were at home. We got through it, but I'm also scared, and I think this is a big general public concern. I'm just kind of scared about this vaccine too at the same time. Like I get flu shots and things like that. And I know it was FDA approved recently, but with my conditions, I mean, where's the long-term studies? So I think I'm in the same boat that a lot of Americans and people across the world are in, where, I'm just wearing a mask at work. We're family planning, and I don't want to bring any of that shit home. Am I protected? I don't know. I already had it. and I was one
Jordan,
of the
why are you
highest
planning?
risk-
Why are you planning, Jordan? Just have sex every night till it happens.
Well, it's I guess a more PC way of kind of saying she's already pregnant. You know.
Oh,
hey,
congratulations!
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's
Look at him.
exciting.
He's like PC way.
A PC
I don't
way.
I'm not PC. Sorry,
In
but
progress.
congratulations. Is this going to be
Yeah,
your
that's
first
great.
child?
This will be, yeah.
Nice.
Well,
It's
congrats.
so exciting. There's nothing more
Very
exciting than
exciting.
that. I remember
Right now, he or she is the size of a grape, according to our app we
Yeah.
have. So we're very
An app?
excited.
I remember.
Yeah, the app like tracks like how
I remember-
big your child is. Yeah.
I remember
Like,
knowing it
kinda
was
like
coming.
that.
I had like this confidence level. I said to my wife, I said, "We're gonna have a girl first, and then we're gonna have a boy." And I had a girl and a boy. In
Your
other
ex-wife.
words, it was great. It was wonderful. One of them's next to me, much better looking than me. But you can see how
saying that.
you can see I have potential if you put us next to each other. There was a time when I was better looking, and that was probably when my wife met me.
Your ex-wife. Come on.
No, but even my current wife, right?
Oh yeah, possibly.
You got to remember that
You look pretty good in those wedding photos.
Christy's still a mother of four because you guys were like kids,
Yeah,
little
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Like, you,
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
You don't even remember me and your mom being together.
No, not at all.
Miranda
I've got
does, but
I've
you
got
don't.
4 parents. It's pretty
How'd
much
that
just,
happen? Yeah,
it's
strange.
pretty much just how it is.
I'm one of those rare people who like wanted your mom to remarry and then was friends with your stepdad.
Yeah.
Literally, we like coached football together and shit. It was like
That's nice.
people thought we were crazy, but I just like I remarried and I didn't want her to be alone, so it was great for her to. I don't know why we're on this topic.
Come on, let's talk about some risk. Let's talk about risk.
Here, there's a risk here. My mom got a cat. She's 70 years old.
Back to family.
My father is in Alzheimer's home.
I don't know what.
And
she's
my
doing
mom's
with that
idea of
thing.
taking care of an animal is throwing food on the floor and saying, "Oh, there's a bowl there with water. It'll be fine." This is a
In
disaster.
some cases, they are.
This is-
Oh
I love my
my
mom.
goodness.
She. I'm sure my mom hates me, but I love my mom.
Cats are so low maintenance. Hopefully,
Are they low maintenance?
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
but she got a kitten.
Yeah. So what's she gonna
got a
do when she
kitten.
travels anywhere? Because she's going to Panama for like 2 weeks.
What?
What's she gonna do with the cat? Just throw some food at it? I mean, come on, mom. Who's gonna watch it? Give me a break.
She's going to Panama.
Yeah, she's going to the Panama Canal and shit like that. Who knows? Whatever.
Watch the Evergreen or Ever Given
Yeah,
get stuck again.
Exactly. Hey, I'm on the show. Is
Did you
everything
guys see? Did you see that the ship made its way back through? I was all nervous that it was going to get stuck a second time.
Oh yeah,
That would have been funny. Oh, AMC.
that was a big logistical nightmare.
Oh, I mean, it disrupted massive global supply chains.
Yeah.
It was insane. I mean, it was awful. Hey, did you, sore subject, but did you see Peloton today?
You know, Peloton, I am short, and it was doing really well for me. And then today, I did not. I saw that we were losing.
Got fried a little bit on that one.
Well, no,
Just a little.
This is what's the symbol again?
PTON. See, I personally, I'm a fan of Peloton, but I understand your value. I love
so
their
I don't.
product.
So it's up 7. I see that now. Granted, you should know I actually had a profit in that.
Oh yeah,
But-
100%.
But I sometimes when I put on a short, I put on a perma short, right? And so these little noise makers things don't bother me. I look at some perma shorts, and when I put on a perma short, it's like not a big position. I think that we only have like
It's a small
maybe
position. Yeah.
$200,000 in short the stock or something, maybe 150. Just like AMC, I only have like maybe 200,000 or 150,000 in AMC short.
Yep.
And these shorts for me, when there's short-term market noise, I just don't even look at it. I look at it as an overall portfolio. So if you look at this, it's different when you're managing a pool of capital, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say, for example, the pool of capital is $100 million. A 1% short position would be $1 million, right? So if the position doubled from 1 million to 2 million short, I would be down 1%.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not the same thing. Whereas Jordan, I suspect, like me in my personal portfolio, you have a concentrated position of your net worth in Naked Brands. Maybe a little bit, or no, am I wrong?
I'd say it's my fun account. You know, I have a professional financial advisor. Let's get that clear with my long-term stuff. But in my fun account, I'd say it accounts for probably 45 to 50%.
Yeah. So pretty
Right. So
concentrated.
I've made a large portion of my net worth, and with the risk-on moments that I've had, I've had most of my money in 1 or 2 positions, right, at one time. Now, that's not recommended for everybody, but this is the show about risk. This is a risk on show. And I know we talk about other stuff, but in general, it's risk on your money, risk on in your relationships, risk on your family, what kind of risk you're taking relative to, like let's take Jordan, for example. His future wife, his fiancée, is pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a baby. All the things that happen after you have the baby are determined by the decisions Jordan makes now about his financial future and how he can make sure he can provide for his wife. And I don't know if she works outside the home or not, but let's assume that she does. So double income, no children, a dink, double income, one child soon coming, right? They got to position themselves with how they and so Jordan really can't make any net worth by, okay, I'll wait 45 years. Let me put in $100 a month, and in 45 years I have $2 million. He can.
Yeah.
But what if Jordan put in $20,000 in a NAKD and it goes to $80,000 and the child is not even born yet? Now the question is if you keep doubling down, you eventually get smacked, right?
Yeah.
And I've had that happen, right? So
Oh yeah.
I went to zero with DPW in 2018 when it did those two reverses, which were disasters. Personally hurt my net worth dramatically. And I went to zero in 2008. But in a couple of those bets, I went to 100 million. And on the IPO of Alzamend, I went to $1 billion. I was actually a billionaire for about
more.
Like about, what was it, Josh, like 12 seconds? Or
No, it was
Yeah.
10 minutes.
was it
10
2
minutes,
minutes,
yes.
whatever? And so I have calculated the risk on moments for myself, and Jordan has to evaluate his own risk on moments, because I will tell you the key to risk on moments, even when you take a job, when you have a baby, or when you invest in your own career, the very biggest risk on moment for me is being married to the right person, right? And if for that purpose, if that person can accept that you can live with zero and come back, then these risk on moments. What if Jordan has $25,000 invested in NAKD, or doesn't matter the number, Jordan, I don't want to know it. But what if NAKD actually runs to $3, and all of a sudden he has 150 or he has 100,000 in NAKD, and he stops, evaluates, figures out the taxes, and goes, okay, now, hey, with this 80 grand or 90 grand after taxes, I can go start my own business. I can. That's another risk on moment he has to do, and those risk on moments will change as he decides, well, now I have a child, and so I need to make sure that I have money and how much. So this is where I tell people all the time, you got to marry the right person, because if you're not pursuing your dream, you're going to end up being miserable. And I know it's the stolen quote all the time, this whole Walden Pond Thoreau quote, which is something I heard from Ross Perot 100 years ago. People don't even probably, it sucks. You know what? People probably don't even know, that many people don't probably know what a game changer H. Ross Perot was when he founded EDS and what he did in his career. Really a wonderful, remarkable businessman. And I heard him quote Thoreau when he said, the mass of men lead quiet lives of desperation.
Yep.
And like it affected him, he worked for IBM. He borrowed $1,000 from his wife's family or his wife and started EDS. I did the same thing. And I have had some desperate moments. I have made some huge mistakes, but I have loyal family, my son included, my wife. To some extent, even my ex-wife was loyal, because she didn't give me much of a hard time when we got a divorce. People like your father, Josh, who's been very loyal to helping my business, our business, and my current wife of 18, 19, I don't even remember the years now. I've lost track.
You got
something like that.
Yeah.
All my kids have been pretty loyal. A lot of my investors,
Pretty loyal.
like Steve Caspi, who I'm saying they've been loyal, but some of them had no choice, right? They were babies, right?
Yeah.
But Steve Caspi, who gave me initially the $80,000 to help me start Alzamend, these people, even though there were times that were tough, stayed with it. And so Jordan, obviously, as we're going to wrap up here shortly, we appreciate you being on. What do you think happens for you in the next couple of years? You're gonna have a baby. What's your path to prosperity? What you think? What is your risk on moment? You think for you, is it the decision to have the baby and get married, or do you want to start a business? What do you want to do?
By
By the way, that was a long intro to that question, wasn't it?
That was a pretty
There's a lot. The
extensive.
decision to get married for
long-
me, I am so fortunate in the fact that I have found someone who loves me for me. When I first met her, I was delivering pizzas. You know what I mean? Like, so I know she ain't here for the money. You know what I mean?
Hey, the vast majority of people that own pizza restaurants are millionaires. Though, keep in mind, she's
and
probably
my boss
smarter than you.
was.
Probably smarter than you think, because if you ended up owning a pizza restaurant, not only could she eat for free, but you probably become a millionaire.
I've had a lot of risk on moments recently, right now, with regards to money, you know, and you can't have regrets. I was in a position recently where, you know, I had saved up a lot of money and I was like, do I buy 3 full Bitcoins right now when it's at 29,000, or is that the irresponsible way? I decided to give that to a professional financial advisor. Am I kicking myself right now? Maybe. But at the time, God forbid, I lost a lot of that. I would never hear the end of it from the family. And I felt like it was an irresponsible thing to do. So I gave him, let's just say I gave him 100%. I told him invest 50% right away and dollar cost average 10% over the next 5 months, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been through some of these risk on moments, but ultimately I just want to be happy, you know? So I don't know if that means starting my own business. I've had one before. I'll tell you, there's a lot of headaches. Okay. I wasn't necessarily living right back then either. So I think the Jordan today would definitely, I've been sober almost 6 years, by the way.
Congrats.
The Jordan today would handle that a lot different than the Jordan back in the day. But my real goal is just to be happy. And if I can do something with this YouTube and my trading and combined to not have to know that I need to do physical work or just 40, 50 hours of work a week to make ends meet. You know, fortunately, we're not in that situation. And I'm going to branch off on the channel. We're big into boating and fishing, and I'm going to have a little spin-off rip and dip boating or fishing or something like that once that time comes. And
Nice.
so that's really it for
Jordan,
me. Is I just
have
wanna
you
be
ever
happy.
read The Secret? I know it became a popularized book and a little cheesy, but have you ever read The Secret?
I've heard of it. I don't believe I have. Is that the one where you manifest what you?
Okay, so
What
let
you
me
want.
say something to you. Okay,
Here we go.
all right. So
Manifestation.
I'm not going to get into anyone's belief in God. So I believe that Jesus existed. I believe the teachings
Absolutely.
I believe the teachings of Jesus are remarkable. If you think about the idea of all the things that he taught people of how to behave towards fellow mankind and how to treat your wife and your kids and your family. And there's a lot of teachings of Jesus. It's a debatable issue about whether he's the son of God or just a prophet, that the Jews think he's a prophet and Christians think he's the son of God. I'm not going to get into that part. But my wife knows I'm a big believer in the teachings of Jesus, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that I believe Jesus Lord and Savior or not. That's a different conversation, one that I'm not going to have because that's a personal issue between me and my family, right? But I am a believer in energy and manifestation. And if I ain't living proof, and that ain't a word, if I'm not living proof that manifestation takes place, you go back to my yearbook. When I graduated high school, where would you be in 10 years? I'll have 10 million in assets and I'll be running Ault and Company. I will tell you, if you want to be on YouTube and monetizing, Jordan, my recommendation to you, of course you follow it how you want, is she's speaking absolutes, my friend. I'm going to launch these channels. I'm going to make them as successful as they could be. I'm going to generate passive income, whether it be in owning real estate, which is what I do on the side with my son and my family. And we open that up. We have a real estate fund for people that want to invest side by side with us. Whether I want to run a hedge fund, I'm relaunching a hedge fund again in a week. It's been a couple years in the making, Josh, huh?
Yeah.
Finally relaunching a hedge fund, Ault Alpha.
It's exciting.
And that is not a solicitation to buy or sell securities from us. I'm not asking you to invest in the hedge fund. So I would encourage you, Jordan, like you have done with some conviction on naked brands, to have conviction about what you want things to be like for you and your newborn child, and read The Secret. There's some things in there that are a little cheesy, but the concept of you building from your past, you just said earlier that you're sober. I never understood that part of it. I know other people do, but like, does sober mean you can't have another drink? I guess I'm naive to.
I mean, I would assume so. If
I guess we
some
all
people
have.
say-
We all
sober
have.
for me. Sober for me means it's more than just the physical aspect of drinking and drugging. It's a mind state. I'm in a period right now where I just got reconnected with my recovery groups because I hadn't taken a drink, I hadn't taken a drug, but I felt this ball of anxiety inside me, and I said, what the heck is going on? I met with my pastor the other day. I met with my sponsor, and I just need to get reconnected because it really is spiritual principles that I believe follow right out of the Bible too. And I'll leave it at that, but it's a wonderful thing. And recovery means I don't want to drink or drug anymore, really.
Gotcha.
And I live according to principles of honesty, integrity, doing the right thing, and things of that nature, even when they're the hard route, which a lot of the times they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess we all have some vice there. I mean, for my argument this morning, I started the show with off saying I got to lose weight because of my out of
Me
control
too.
blood sugar, right? So we all do something that, I'm probably doing the same thing. I'm going to be sober in the fact that I need to lose weight, right? I need to lose a lot of
mindset.
it. Anyways,
Perspective, mindset, manifestation.
we all can't be Chase, who can hit a golf ball 398. How far can you hit a golf ball?
I think my furthest
What
drive.
is it? What, you realize that it's my DNA that's made you such a great athlete.
Oh,
right?
it's
Of course.
It's him now. It's him.
Hey,
He
hey,
crafted me.
hey! Your sister's a national champion in cheerleading 4 years in a row, and you got into UCLA playing football. There's a common trait here, right?
Yeah, there is.
All my kids are good looking. Both of my wife and my ex-wife are good looking. And there's one common denominator, which I'm the same guy, and my kids are all good looking. So, hey, there you go, right?
Yeah, there's a common denominator.
Just kidding around.
Yeah, 'cause
come on,
you,
man.
You started
But
lifting for me at age 12. You started it. No, I'm just joking. I mean,
I'm
I think,
kidding too. Kidding.
I think
you are a natural athlete. and-
furthest drive.
yeah.
I think I had like 361 the other day.
So I went golfing with my son recently, and my son picked. So Henry and myself and my general counsel, my son went to Hawaii one year. When was that?
2018.
2018. Went to Hawaii for New Year's or something. I don't know what we were doing.
Yeah, it was New Year's, and Henry and Lon came, and
yeah.
Julia.
So we went golfing and on some really beautiful course there.
I did awful. I'd never played.
And it was the
before.
first time he ever played. So
Yeah.
fast forward like a year and a half later, this natural athlete who played baseball, basketball, and all this other stuff is killing it, shooting like you're shooting in the 70s now, right?
Not lately, but yeah.
Well,
Not lately.
So
I
you're a
don't get-
scratch golfer then.
No, I
Par.
mean, I'd say I think I got my handicap down to about like a 7. But
very good.
when I was in
You've
college,
been playing a year and some change.
I've been playing for about a year. Yeah, and when I was in college, I played 4 or 5 times a week and would be at the range 6 days a week. The same
Yeah.
days I was playing. But now, I mean, I'm out here. I'm just working. I'm lucky to play once a week.
Right.
And so it's
Did
not.
you find the transition from baseball to golf? Because I was a natural baseball player. I found the transition hard. I had a slice that I could not get rid of.
That's
for about 2 years.
99% of baseball players have a massive slice because they don't realize that club face control. You don't have to do any of that stuff with a baseball bat. But I didn't play. I played baseball as a young kid, and really I played a lot of sports. I ran track. I played football. I played basketball, baseball, lacrosse. I don't know, a bunch of things. I was junior lifeguard growing up, but I never played baseball into, as a teenager, things like that. I stopped when I was like 11 years old.
In
So
the future, we'll
transition
talk
was-
about his last at bats
Oh, gosh.
for baseball.
The
We will-
transition was nothing.
We will discuss this transition. Hey, let's clear up a little business here before we sign off. Stay with us, Jordan. So the House Democrats passed a clear path to a $3.5 billion budget bill for infrastructure. I don't get the economy thing positive from Delta. We're going to come back to that. And the CDC shows that the unvaccinated people are 29 times more likely to end up in the hospital with COVID. And I love how the Taliban is telling Biden we're not going to move the date past the 31st for them to exit.
Oh yeah, they're like
Total
pushing
cluster. It's a scenario here
crazy.
where this is a complete cluster. Everyone's messed this up. So what, Jordan? What have you heard about why there's this attitude that the variant? There's positive news from the Delta variant. What's the positive news?
I don't understand.
what's the positive?
Yeah,
news
they're
for
saying
this?
the Delta variant.
The economy could get help from
Delta
positive
is really
news.
just causing a loss of momentum rather than a pronounced economic weakness, and there's a good chance it's pretty short-lived, says Jeffrey's economist. And so it appears that cases continue to rise, but at a slower pace. They may not be much comfort, but the national rate is around 150,000 cases a day, but given rise to hope that business will consider activities continuing as the economy is on track towards pre-pandemic levels. So apparently, let's see here. Let's look at this real quickly here. Meekin says that the rate of increase has slowed to 11.7%, while level of hospitalization is 14.7%, well below the respective 32 and 37% 2 weeks ago. At the same time, the metrics for the economy reopening continue to improve, and though also slower pace, the Delta has raised concerns about what lies ahead. I don't know.
I mean, where's it going to go?
I think people are just fed up of the uncertainty. And when I found out I was mandated now in New York for not for everybody, but just for people who are working in the environments that we're working. So, we work in commercials. So the employees and us who are doing work in those stores, we're wearing masks now. I think people are just tired of it. So I think what you said, what I got from that was like, although we're kind of our numbers of infection are rising to where they were before, they're not really seeing businesses slowing down or forecasting the economic growth to slow down. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I mean,
and I think it's just because people are fed up and they're just like, you know what? It is what it is. If I get it, I get it. I'm tired of living in fear. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
and I was living in fear. I watched Governor Cuomo every day saying, "Oh no, there's no hospital beds for me. This is it." And I was living in fear. And once you step outside of that, which is faith, the opposite of fear is faith, and you feel so much more enlightened and so much more free to just enjoy the moments in life, And I think that's where everybody's at right now. God forbid, if anything like what's going on in Australia happens over here. I mean, I saw some videos of children being ripped from their parents with a needle forced in their arm, And I'm, like I said, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but that scares me. You know what I mean?
The Australian
and I
thing
think that
is scary.
I don't think it'll get like that in our country. Thank God. But if it's happening somewhere else, don't ever think it can't happen where you live. You know what I mean?
Hey, Shop Smart, I appreciate the suggestion of cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar teaspoon before you go to bed at night for sugar levels.
Everybody suggests apple cider vinegar for everything.
I took it to lose weight. And
For
I didn't lose
everything.
weight,
It's a cure-all.
It is literally,
sure.
it's got to be Josh, cure-all.
Yeah.
You have a cut.
This
apple
person
cider
says
vinegar.
I should
Swelling,
go. I should
apple cider vinegar.
go.
Totally.
Yeah.
Weight loss.
This person says I should go full keto.
Yep.
Okay.
Be careful. I did a lot of damage to my kidneys on a keto diet.
Keto's, I mean, look, you just need to be caloric deficit, 30 minutes to an hour
Well,
of exercise
how did you damage your
every
kidneys on
day.
keto?
Protein is very well. I have an underlying condition with my kidneys, but literally, when I say I progressed that disease in 4 years, what normally would have probably happened over the course of 20 years, like by 50%, because protein is very, very hard for your kidneys if you eat too much of it. And a lot of people do what's called dirty keto. And I'm not saying I know you, Todd, but you seem like me. I'm a huskier guy. I like my snacks. I like my things. And I did dirty keto. So instead of cooking healthy meals that take time, I grab some Slim Jims. I'm like, there's no carbs in this. I would eat a bunch of fatty things. I'd throw butter in my coffee and do
Butter
all
in the
that.
coffee.
So just,
You haven't heard butter coffee?
Yeah, but
Bulletproof coffee?
bullet coffee is good
Oh,
though.
yeah.
I just put what I put a coconut oil in there, right?
Yeah, bullet
MCT
coffee. Yeah,
oil.
coconut oil is better, definitely. And then I did the whole MTC oil thing, and I lost weight fast. But is it sustainable for me? No. And as soon as I started eating carbs again, I was doing a little mishmash, and it was just a mess. I put it right back on even faster than I lost it.
Hey, we didn't get to some of the people in the comments here. I hope we didn't miss you. I saw the King was in
Oh,
there.
yeah. Lots from the King. He
Oh,
has
yeah.
some
What did
the
really
King have to
funny
say?
I
ones.
wish I saw. I got the Zoom thing.
Oh, it's so funny.
I've been
He's-
talking to him on the
back when
phone,
you
by
were-
the way. So
What
through
the
your
Back
show,
when you were talking about, manifesting and losing weight, he was like, Chase, you should recommend a Peloton.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm big. I
The
feel
King
bad.
is a smart. You know what he is? He's like a Mel Brooks reincarnated. Well, Mel Brooks is still alive, but he's like a smart
you
ass.
just made his day. You just made his day.
Yeah, well, no, that's what he is.
Mel
He's a
Brooks.
comedian, right? I mean, this guy's the king is like a underhanded. You got to know the joke scenario. I told you, I put my wife in front of it's. What's that thing? History of the World Part 1. She watched halfway through it, didn't laugh one time, where I couldn't contain myself. Hey,
King's
it's the
great.
24th of October. It was a little bit of a transition today.
Wait.
Talking to the
August.
Excuse me, August. I did that again. The 24th of August, 2021. Thanks, Josh, for being on the show. I appreciate Rip and Dippin' being here. I did Rip and Dippin' like he's dipping something else, right?
Yeah.
It is.
NAKD Brands, what a great day. It was great to wake up to a solid rally.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what they have in store for us. Looking forward to finding out what's happening there. Good luck to everyone who's long naked, and hope you have a good Tuesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. Be well.
Take care.
Risk on.
Yeah. Get your money right.
Get your money back.